What about the topic on forgiveness? Have
Yeah,
you,
go on.
have you done that before?
No, sir.
Right, okay, where do I start? We are nurtured and encouraged to forgive no matter what has happened to us, right?
Yes.
Some will say mainly, I guess, based on scripture, that, it's good to forgive because the Most High, God, whatever, he forgives us how many times. And we're meant to be made in the eyes of him, right? So therefore they're saying forgive. Other
Mm-hmm.
philosophers will say, well, it's not even forgiving for the person, you're forgiving for yourself.
So
The question is, are there some things that are unforgivable? You
many,
know,
many things,
many
of
things.
course.
Do you have anything that comes to mind when you say, are we speaking of like, I mean, let me not put words into your mouth. Let me just say, what did you have in mind when you said many
You
things?
can't put nothing in my mouth because me is not a funny man.
Don't crack me up.
You understand?
Right.
Only thing we're going at this amount here is food.
Watched a documentary and there was a black lady and she went to the prison to visit her son's murderer.
Wow.
The
America that?
person who kind of, no, well, no, it wasn't actually, I don't remember it being. And she went to visit the young man who unalived her son. And I don't know what age he was, but maybe 30s, maybe at the time, I'm not sure.
Right.
And the mother said, I forgive you.
Okay.
And I looked and it made me question myself. And I thought, could I really go to the prison? That takes enough courage. With saying to this man that I forgive you. The man looked scared to meet the mother.
Right.
They said that the man was actually more scared to meet the mother than the mother was to meet him. I don't know. When I saw it, it made me question myself, and I thought, I didn't see me being her. I didn't see me being as forgiving as that mother.
We understand that.
Mm.
Definitely. It's a
And
hard thing
she
still,
was.
you know. It's a hard
Mm,
thing still. Because
mm,
we feel that we feel that at some point, because we did talk about something like this, somebody were there. And we are talking about
mm,
Stephen Lawrence. We are talking about Stephen mother. And they are saying
mm.
at some point, your mother must have to just kind of forgive to move on. Especially
Is she
the
not?
one that was in a jail already. You understand?
Mm.
Because a long time ago, I mean, I say, want justice, but the ones
Tough.
that were in a jail from, you know, when them get sentenced. Sometimes you have to just say, you know what, them do them time and when I waste enough time on them. Like, you understand?
But somebody recently got convicted, no, of the case
Uh
in the last week.
no, not recently. If he say him convicted for a while, but what he must say is he is willing to cooperate or something like that there. He's willing to cooperate and tell them what go on. If he can come out earlier, something like that, we feel say.
You were saying that you feel like Stephen Lawrence's mum needs to move on.
Not needs to, but me I say at some point with the boy them where I served them time already. They remember there is some of them where them not get checked yet.
Mm.
But the ones that were I served them them been in jail already. I feel say how long can you stay hungry when them boy them are inside and them a do them thing? Them a write them
Yeah.
sentence. Sometimes
Mm.
you have to free yourself. So when it get past me feel say, I don't know, 15 year, 20 year. You have to make
Wow.
peace in your mind and say, sure, move on past that now.
Mm.
You understand?
I don't know. Do you know? I was thinking about this the other day because I spoke to a lovely lady who lived in where was it? Singapore.
Right.
About within the last 3 weeks, and we were talking about forgiveness and what that may
Mm.
look like. And I was saying that I don't know when it comes to forgiveness. I don't know sometimes if I've actually forgiven certain things or whether I've just moved on in my mind and I'm preoccupied with life. Do you know what I
You
mean?
understand what you're saying?
So that is quite, I mean, it's a funny topic in itself in terms of like, you know, how far could you go with that topic? But when people say they've forgiven, does that mean you feel nothing? You're at ease with whatever the experience was?
I don't feel
Or,
so,
you know,
you know, we feel so more unless you're a person of faith. We feel say if you forgive somebody, we feel say it's just a way if you say, all right, the situation is what it is, and we are gonna just put it to rest and move on now. It don't necessarily mean say you look that person in them face and feel say you forgive them and you know
mm,
you look at them like a brand new human being, you know, a reformed
mm,
person. But you don't mean that, you know, feel say. You feel say you just say to yourself, you're gonna just accept the situation for what it is. What has happened, and now you're gonna just move on now.
mm. Yeah. Every now and again, I bump into a particular ex that I experienced DV with,
Okay.
right? You know, domestic violence,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And then I was in my 20s. I was young. Talk about like, you know, very, very long time. I'm in my 40s now, heading towards 50, so long time ago.
Right,
But the experience was quite, one experience in particular was quite horrific.
right,
And it's always kind of bugged me, the scenario, because when something happens and you detach from whoever it is, you have enough time to have the anger and all this kind of stuff. But we were still around each other on and off for years after that because we had mutual
right.
friends. So I didn't, it's a weird one. As opposed to me being angry and attached, I was still, you know, invited to parties where he was. And now when I see him, I can give him a hug. And I only remember the horrificness once I hug him and I walk away and I'm like, am I not supposed to? It's almost like I'm telling myself, am I supposed to be like
Guilt,
this? Because it's like me
like
not to be.
guilt lick you.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm guilty for the person who was once the
Right,
victim. But it's not because I'm afraid or nothing. Like, it's literally because I didn't leave immediately.
right.
Therefore, there was too much time that passed in associate circles. Do you see?
You understand?
But there was a lot of anger before and pain, more and more about humiliation. I felt humiliated through the experience,
Right.
yeah? But then when I saw him, when I bumped into him about a month ago, it's the first time I walked away and thought, I don't see him often, maybe once every few years I might bump into him. It's the first time I saw him and thought, you didn't even need to go to jail for me. Because
You
you
go to
didn't. I
prison?
didn't do it like that. Because he's strung out, drugs, everything, mashed down, popped down.
Right. You go to prison for it?
No, so I'm saying, no, I didn't do all that.
Okay.
And whatever woman that does that, bravo. Do you know what I mean? But I didn't do all that, yeah? And I said to myself, wow, when he sees me, he's always like the girl that got away. That's how we gotta see it. Because, you know, you've gone from this to like scallywags. In all honesty, you know, you're on the gear and all sorts. So I'm like, you didn't even need me to hate on you. Look at you in your 50s. Look where you're at.
Well,
So I'm
I
like,
calm with that,
was
no.
that karma? Was it? I don't
Calm with
know.
that. If you don't treat people good, then things come back and bite you, innit, don't it?
Mm.
You understand?
So I was thinking to myself, I don't think I've ever said I forgive you to myself or to him. But what I did say to myself years ago was, I don't forgive this individual, but I want to. And I think because I was willing that the anger shift. I don't feel the anger. I don't feel that. When I walked away from him about a month ago, it's the first time that I thought to myself, wow, you didn't even need me to send you away. Life has whooped your ass. And the thing is, interestingly enough, for me of all people, and I don't normally do this, I didn't even, I thought I would be a bit gloaty, and I didn't gloat. I didn't feel it. I didn't feel like, oh, well, look at you. I just didn't.
Right.
I didn't feel any of that. He gave me a hug. I was like, you all right? I said, are you behaving yourself? And it's almost like I felt like I was talking to a
Mm.
child. Are you all right? Are you behaving yourself? Are you? That's how I was speaking to him. Like, you're good. Like, you can see the eyes are wide. You're on drugs. Whatever escape you want to escape, it doesn't compare Whatever I experience doesn't compare to what he's living.
You understand that?
No, I don't think I've forgiven, but I don't know if I have because I don't have the anger. And what does forgiveness really look like? I mean, we're taught the word, but we never really taught what that really looks like or feels like. Because I don't have the anger. I have some small resentment every now and again if I bump into him. When I leave, it's always once I leave and I hug him, "You're right," and I leave and I feel like, is that normal?
But
Is that normal?
you feel that resentment because you question yourself, don't it? But if
Maybe.
you don't feel any anger when you think about what did
Yes.
happen in the past, that means to me, I would say that you're more or less forgive because you're not angry about it, so you move past it.
At once upon a time, I was angry, I was bitter, I was going to put in a call and get him duppied, for anyone who understands what that
Or
means.
you,
Hey,
you really attack that thought there
yeah,
on the Ingram.
D, feel free to jump in. I was going to get him duppied out here in the streets. I was close.
You understand?
I was actually close. And I mean, what stopped me was like, you know what? Can I live with that? And
Right.
not only can I live with it, am I willing to also equally do the bird if things
Well,
come on top? Remember,
a good thing you didn't think about that.
yeah, it's a random topic. I don't know, like in terms of like forgiveness, do we forgive people, whether it's those who's cheated on us, whether it's bullies, whether it's abuse, whether it's whatever it is, when you think about something that you feel as a major disrespect or major betrayal or serious harm or those people do you know what I mean, who's got their babies and the person that's come in has you know abused them, like how do you get to that point of acceptance and then forgiving?
Hard question. And
You
that,
know,
if you see you're going to live to see the impact where it have on your people. Yeah, you have to deal with that every day. You understand?
100%, 100%. Because I was just made me think like with all the stories. Can you guys see my eyes? Obviously, when I'm meant to be the host, it's meant to you should see my eyes. Um, yeah, I'm just thinking about some people's journeys. I'm thinking about my journeys. And it's the first time that when I saw the individual, that I pitied him without mockery. Do you understand that? Like, well, someone's just not this, they're not about nothing. You're like, well, look at you. There was none of that inside of me. All that I had outgrown, thankfully, as age and wisdom. But thankfully, all it was, wow, oh, sorry for that person. Because then you're still, your age, yeah, you're moving in a way that's you're still doing these things to women from what I've been told up until recently.
Well, then you have to deal with where I got through, don't it?
Well, yeah, because he was the victim of all the things we're talking about,
Right.
and that's how it's internalized in him. He's become that person.
Well, him should have worked on it when him have the chance.
The question that I wanted to ask, like, well, not even ask, like, put out, is like, what does forgiveness look like to you or feel like? Is it meant to be Is it meant to be where you don't feel anything? And but like I said, if I saw him today, you'd be like, there's no way that's the guy, because there's no fear, there's nothing like that. Genuine hug, genuine kiss on his cheek, and it's like, how you doing? But yeah, we don't need to be in touch. But yeah, and I walk away feeling proud of myself with my personal development. But what did cross my mind when I walked away was, for the first time, actually, what crossed my mind a month ago was, because of what you did, I now have a perspective and a way of navigating with men that I wish I never had to.
Right. A deep
Which
thing that,
means,
a deep thing that what you just said.
no, because we've all got something that has us behave a certain way.
Again, back to basics, put a response to your question about forgiveness. Them say
Yeah.
that's where the forgiveness comes in. Once you feel saddened for them.
Oh my goodness, really? Thank you for reading it. I'm struggling because I don't have my glasses. Wow.
A good answer that
Really?
still enough.
Really? Really?
Even
Wow.
everybody's forgiveness probably are come through different ways, but that comment there. It makes sense to me.
That is deep.
Makes sense.
Once you feel sorry for them, I don't know. That's interesting. That's going to sit with me tonight. That's interesting. I've never thought about it. I don't, when, on a conscious level, on a logic level, I don't feel forgiveness. I don't forgive him. I don't have the hate and malice. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm looking at it on what the word means or if I'm expecting something else from myself. I don't know.
But your conscious side, that's how your logical thinking,
I
though.
don't know. Yeah, I actually don't know. Because like I said, my angle now and how I navigate my relationships is different from that day, for better and worse. Let me tell you, back then, I was still questioning my spiritual abilities, my the womanism, the woman intuitivity
Right.
as well. But something, and I've listened to this. I'm talking to you like I'm not on live now, because obviously, yeah, all right. I listen to this, guys. Follow your intuitivity and whatever gifts you feel that you have. Because when I met this person in my 20s, which I've never done it with anybody else, if I mention his name, whoever's on the live will know who it is. Yeah. When we sat down and spoke, I looked at him and I said, have you ever been violent towards women? I've never asked a man that in my life, but something told me that there was something. Remember, I can't look at someone and say, oh, because you look like you're whatever, let me not date you. Because it's just a feeling I had, but I never had that feeling before. So I wasn't going to, make a decision based
Right.
on that sudden feeling. And I was like, give me your hand. I'm not a palm reader, but I was like, give me your hand. And I was like, are you sure? Never had that feeling before. And he's like, no, I haven't. Well, when a girl has done so and so to me, I've kind of like, had to like restrain her. And I was like, well, might have been about, I don't know if it's a year in or whatever. Let's just say that I had to fake an asthma attack to get out the house.
Rotted. That deep.
Yeah. Let's just say fake an asthma attack, butcher knife was involved, and a bath full of water. I don't know whether you want me to connect the dots.
Wow.
So for me, yeah, I don't even know. I don't know. Like I said, to my knowledge, I think that he had started taking bits stuff and wasn't all right.
Mm. Well,
So one
thank
day,
God you get out of there alive.
yeah, yeah, Ivor. I don't really, because obviously you guys. Let me just say a disclaimer. I do lives for the last over 5 years from lockdown, and everyone's live is about their journey or it's about a topic that we arrange. I don't sit and talk about me, and it's
Right.
not because I cannot, because you can see I can, but I'm community. So I just figured I wasn't going to be one of those people that just sat and spoke by myself and spoke about all my opinions. It's a community page. But times like this, I'm like, hey, let's chop it up and have a reason.